Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Okay, what are you saying, people? Welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing well. As always, guys, if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. Really does help out the channel, of course, and make sure you do hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. But guys, welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone had a good weekend and is well rested, ready for the trading week ahead. What is up, more? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. I'm glad to have you back. Amarsana, hope I'm saying that correctly. Aussie CAD will take a look. Okay, look and take a buy now. Good morning, FX Wolf. Bunch of yen pairs. We'll take a look at them. No problemo. What's up, Anis? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. William, good morning. Hope you're well. Okay, we'll start with Aussie CAD and we'll take a look at a bunch of yen pairs because seem to be the talk of the town at the moment. But Aussie CAD, haven't really been looking at this pair too much, to be honest. Not really liking it. I think we do have room for a big move to the downside, which is kind of what I'm interested in. I'm not really looking to buy this one anymore. We had a nice move to the upside. We've taken out some big highs there on the left. I do think price is kind of in an area where we do have a good chance of forming a lower high and seeing a follow through to the downside. If I kind of draw the Fibonacci from the swing low to the swing high, this is the weekly chart, you can kind of see we're coming to that 0.618 area and also throwing some wicks there to the upside. Last week's candle tried to push bullish, but failed to do so and pull back, leaving a big wick behind us. So I do think there is room to the downside. If I drop to the 4H, what I'm kind of looking at for Aussie CAD is, firstly, we had this big consolidation over here, which price is now back inside of, and you said you're looking to buy. So I think if we were a little bit deeper down close to this level of support, I would like the buys a little bit more. I mean, we could be forming a higher low to push on, but this for me is a really solid level of support. So that's kind of where I would like to buy from if I was looking to buy the market. So that would be around 0.90500. So I would like the buys a little bit further down. But if you're asking what I'm looking for Aussie CAD, my personal opinion, I'm actually looking for that bigger move to the downside. I think this here is a really nice fake out because, again, price was giving us some equal highs here, a lot of rejection. Big push to the upside. I think this was CPI yesterday. Last week. And then price came straight back down. So for me, this is kind of like a big fake out. And if that is a big fake out, I want to see price now break in the opposite direction. And then we can be looking for a retest to then short. This for me would be a really nice opportunity. It lines up with the higher time frames. We're seeing a nice kind of fake out, reverse opportunity, a break of structure. And there's a lot of room to the downside as well. So I really do like this Aussie CAD short opportunity should we see a break and retest of that level. I don't mind the buys because, again, we have been bullish for a while. The market has been trending up. But if I was looking to buy, like I said, I would like price to be a little bit deeper, close to this level of support. Therefore, I can have a safer stop loss because a stop loss underneath this wick here kind of leaves me a little bit exposed to price maybe having another retest before moving in my direction. So I'd like to get a wick at least below this low here, which would be a lot safer. Not that you'll be safe, guaranteed, of course not. Trades will fail no matter what, but at least the stop loss kind of below that area gives me kind of maximum potential to try and catch that next bounce. So yeah, Aussie CAD, I don't mind the longs, but I would wait for price to at least approach that level of support. See how we look. Maybe we can form another wick and then see if we can bounce higher. But for me, yeah, I'm kind of looking for the reversal. So need to be patient for that. We'll go through a bunch of yen pairs, euro yen, Aussie yen, pound yen. We'll take a look. I think more still holding on to his euro yen positions. We'll touch on that one definitely as well. $15 positions. That is daunting. Okay, we'll take a look at XBT USD as well. Which one's that again? Is that I forget the name of that metal. But we'll take a look. Currently on sales on the hour time frame, nice setup. Which which market are you talking about? But yeah, for the yen pairs, it's been interesting. Overall, the market is kind of just, well, depends what time frames you're looking at. If you're looking at like 4H hourly, the yen pairs have been quite choppy. I mean, Aussie yen, this is what we've been seeing for the past few weeks. Again, with this one, not necessarily a reversal because we haven't broken through any key lows yet. For me, Aussie yen, this is still very much a key low, which we came back to respect a couple of weeks back. Since then, price has had a nice push to the upside, but still kind of failing at that highs. So again, in terms of what I'm looking for when I'm looking to take advantage of trends, I mean, I'm looking for healthy trends. And Aussie yen is definitely a trend that is still up, but it's not looking as healthy anymore. Again, this could just be a big consolidation for price to find its feet and rocket to the upside as well. It does have that possibility to do that, and equally has the possibility to form a top and then come back down as well. So it's not looking as clear anymore. I think a really good opportunity would be if we can actually break to the upside and then try and find a retest after that, because if we do get strong break to the upside, impulsive one, that kind of shows us that, okay, the trend is healthy again or healthier again, and it leaves behind a really solid level of resistance, which of course will now be turned support for us. So I think that could be a really smart place for a break-in retest, depending if we do see a strong move high. If it's kind of corrective and sluggish and leaves a lot of wicks around, then yeah, I wouldn't look to follow that move. But if it's strong and full of conviction, then yeah, this is a nice place for a pullback, a retest, and try and continue the uptrend. Because again, on the higher time frames for Aussie yen and pretty much all the other yen pairs, when we're looking at the daily chart, the weekly chart, the monthly chart, they're all still very bullish. Yes, there are some areas where they could be looking to reverse, they could be looking to see some downside or have a big pullback. Yes, 100%. I mean, this is Aussie yen. We're coming up to areas where, you know, you can expect to see some downside, but we haven't seen that yet. So the best thing you can do is just stay with what the market is doing until it's not doing it anymore. If the market is bullish, you know, look for your buy opportunities. If the market does reverse, that's your sign to stop looking for buys and maybe start looking for some sells. So yeah, with Aussie yen, if you do break the high, we do it aggressively, then I do like this opportunity. Anything in here, I wouldn't trade it personally. I mean, I can see we're kind of holding some support over here. Might give us a bounce higher, but yeah, I'm not really in love with that opportunity. So yeah, Aussie yen, still bullish higher time frames, but full H, not loving that at all. In terms of pound yen, it's kind of a similar situation as well. Again, this one, although it's still just about creating higher highs, so we had the high over there, higher low, higher high, higher low, and just about another higher high there as well. But the only thing I don't like about pound yen as well is the wicks here on the daily chart, which I was speaking quite a lot about on Friday or Thursday, Friday. It looks like a big double top here on the daily chart. Now, again, this is not for me a sell signal, or at least a sell signal I will take. There are definitely traders who will be looking to short this 100%, but not for me. I want price to actually break lows first. That will indicate to me, okay, the buyers are failing to hold support, and now I'll be interested in the next pullback after that. So that's kind of what I'll be looking for, which is what I touched upon in the weekly analysis. But for now, we're actually really struggling at the highs. I don't really like the wicks there to the upside either. So it's not really a market which I want to follow bullish. I want to be looking for buys anymore. In fact, I actually rather be looking for sells if we do get the break of structure. So if we do see, excuse me, if we do see something like this, then the next pullback will be good. Excuse me, my voice just disappeared there. But yeah, if we do see that break of structure, then I will look to follow that. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with pound yen and euro yen. Excuse me, I don't know why my voice decides it wants to play up now. But I think we're good. So yeah, in terms of euro yen, same situation as well. High time frames, daily, weekly, monthly, also looking very, very bullish. I think there's actually quite a long-term trend line still intact. I don't know if you're looking at this trend line. But yeah, it seems to be keeping price bullish very, very well. And now it looks like we're pulling back into that same vicinity as well. So potentially, you know, if we are going to see another push to the upside, this is kind of a good place to see that follow through to the upside for euro yen. Again, it's kind of the same situation as Aussie yen, which is, again, we've been extremely flat for the past few weeks now. Not really a trend with a lot of confidence. The only thing I do like about euro yen, well, two things. Number one is that trend line, and number two is the fact that this move has been very, very corrective. There has been some strong bearish moves within it, but nothing really too alarming. And the fact is we are still quite corrective as well, which has the characteristics of a pullback. If we were really just drop into the downside heavy and taking out lows, then yeah, that would be a big, big red flag for the buyers. But we are still quite corrective here, still kind of throwing wicks to the downside too. So yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if we just push to the upside and see a big move out of nowhere. But again, it's nothing that I'm going to jump into now. So yeah, the high time frames are still looking bullish. Daily, weekly, monthly still holding up strong. That trend line still holding up strong. So that could be a nice kind of indication if the trend is still good. If you do start breaking through that trend line, then that could be definitely a bit of a red flag there. But for now, it still looks like price is respecting it. Daily chart still throwing wicks to the downside. So like I said, it's not a market which I would look to buy personally, but it's not a market which I would look to sell either. As I said last week as well, if price can break structure and see a big move to the downside like this, that for me is probably an opportunity to start looking to sell. But at the moment, we haven't done that. The 4H candle, which just closed pretty bullish there. Nice reaction to the upside. So yeah, for me, it's kind of more 50-50. Okay, you are looking at that trend line. So yeah, for me, it's a bit more 50-50. What's up, Casperio? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. We'll take a look at Euro Aussie as well. But yeah, my kind of my kind of viewpoint on the yen pairs is a bit more neutral nowadays. A bit more neutral. Some look more bearish than others. Some look a bit more bullish than others. I mean, Swiss yen is by far the most bullish out of all of them. Swiss yen's just been flying to the upside, minimal pullbacks for this one, and really strong momentum to the upside. Really broke through this wick not too long ago, and has been flying ever since. Dollar yen, again, still just about creating higher highs, but not the most bullish market in the world. I mean, there is somewhat of a uptrend here, that kind of trend line-ish as well. So as I said with my weekly analysis, overall still looking to buy, but waiting for some good opportunities to present themselves. Maybe a retest of this low could look good. But yeah, it's difficult. Unless you've already been in buy positions from a while back, similar case to more, then you could look good there because you're kind of just holding that position. In terms of looking to enter now, unless we have another big pullback, I would refrain from doing that. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, on the higher time frames, pretty much all the yen pairs are in long-term downtrends. That is very true. So yeah, with the yen pairs, my kind of general kind of outtake is I'm not really looking to do anything because they're all kind of in corrective areas, borderline consolidation. So it's difficult for me to look at opportunities, even intraday as well. Casperio, I'm looking at GJ intraday. I mean, I do like this big sell-off here, and then we're kind of correcting ourselves. So typically in this type of situation, you do expect to see follow through to the downside. This is kind of like your impulse, your correction, and then you're expecting another impulse to the downside. But again, the conditions aren't particularly great. It's counter trend, very counter trend. The market's bullish on all the higher time frames, so that does lower the probability of the opportunity playing out. But again, it is all probability at the end of the day. Some trades you take, they will lose. Some trades you take, they will win. As long as you're happy with the circumstances you're in, which is, okay, I'm taking a short here. I'm expecting momentum to continue. I know I'm up against it with the trend and momentum. That's why I've got my stop loss in place. And yeah, if you're happy with those situations, those circumstances, then of course, you look for your entries, look for your trade opportunities. But if you don't like being so against the trend, then of course, don't look to take the position. But there is reason to believe pound yen can see some more downside. Like I said, daily chart, a lot of rejection there. We've seen some follow through on the hourly and the 4H. Now it looks like price is correcting, so we could see another drop to the downside. Not a trade I'll take personally, but I can definitely see some logic there. Okay, let me take a look at XPT-USD. Hopefully I can see what it is again. Okay, platinum, that's it. So yeah, platinum, not really a metal that I look at, just gold and silver, the ones that I focus on, but of course it does have similar characteristics to other metals as well. Last time I was looking at it was around here. I like the fact that we're starting to form these higher highs and higher lows. I think I was talking about some buys here, broke the level slightly, but really pretty big move to the upside there. I think going forward, it's difficult. It's kind of just like a big consolidation. Again, long term, I think there's a lot of room to the upside, but at the same time, I'm seeing these major lower highs here. One over there, second over there, third over there, potentially a fourth over there again. And this could be the catalyst for a lot more downside, potentially back to the lows here. So I think because we've had such a big drop to the downside, naturally you're kind of looking for a bounce, but I don't think we can go too far. So we've got the high lows 1, 2, 3. We're coming into an area where we could be seeing a fourth, maybe a retest of this area here on the left. It's turn support for us. We could see a bounce. So if I drop to the 4H, you could look for entries, here-ish. It's a bit more aggressive, yes, but it gives you the best risk to reward. Or you can maybe wait for price to break some structure first and look for your next pullback after that. But looking for a bounce to the upside, like I said, I'm not too sure we go too far. I think we probably will see a bounce, and then maybe the market decides it wants to go bearish again and see some more follow through to continue with that pattern. But yeah, we're in an area where it makes a bit more sense to be looking for longs, and then when we push up, maybe some sells look good again as we approach resistance up here maybe. So looking for a bounce, but long term we might still have a lot more downside to us there. So that's kind of what I would be looking for platinum. In terms of Euro Aussie, Euro Aussie sells. Let me take a look. So yeah, Euro Aussie, this one broke to the downside. It came back into a really big level of support. Last week I said this is not a bad place for a long because it has been such a strong level of support previously. A lot of rejection there with the wicks, big move to the upside, and now we're back at the same area. So naturally, this is a place where I look to buy. I know you just said you're looking for sells, but for me, this is not the smartest place to be selling or holding a sell really, because what you're doing is you're anticipating that the market is going to break such a big level, which it could definitely do, of course, but it's a big if, and there's definitely a big if that price bounces here and moves straight against you as well. So you need to take that into consideration. I mean, it depends what you're looking for. If you're like on the lower time frames and you're just looking for like an intraday trade back to the level here, something like that, then of course that's perfectly fine. It makes sense. The market is still in a bearish trend, in bearish structure on the hourly chart, as you can see, for all these consistent lower highs, 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially could be forming another one there as well. So there definitely is some sense there, 100% looking for another move to the downside, but you have to be looking for a shorter term move there, because looking for any long-term move could happen. Like I said, we could break through, but the chances are, especially if you're trading on the hourly chart, if you're trading on the hourly chart, it's going to be difficult to try and hold through that. So yeah, if you're looking for a move back into the low here, let's say around 1.616, around there, 616, 617, I can see some sense there. You're just looking to follow that trend, so I'm all with that. But just keep an eye out, because we are coming to a massive level on the daily chart, which could definitely send the market to the upside and have a completely huge reversal on our hands. So keep a close eye for that, because we're coming to a big level. Okay, short term makes more sense. Okay. Yeah, if you're looking for short term, then fair enough. Because I've been looking at Euro NZD as well, which is a similar pair to Euro Aussie, and this is the same situation, trading at big level of support. Not really looking for sells at this time. Like I said, short term I can get behind, but if you're trying to look for this trend to continue and see some new lows, you have a big obstacle in your way. It is probabilities at the end of the day, and we well could see that move follow through, and of course hindsight will tell us what happened. But last thing you want to do is take a short and just see it bounce from a big level and then all your profits disappear. It's kind of like, maybe I should have took profits or exited the trade at the massive level of support in the daily chart. So keep an eye out for that. But it's interesting, because Euro NZD and Euro Aussie, which are very similar pairs, are both in similar situations. So I won't be surprised if longer term we do see a big move to the upside for both of them. Pound NZD, I'm still looking at the same thing as well, which is price eventually breaking out this descending channel, which is taking its sweet time to do so. And it might not end up doing that either, but I definitely am looking for a big break to the upside. Then I'm looking for my retest or potentially this high there. I'm looking to go long. That's the move I'm after. I'm not really looking to follow that trend to the downside. It's still very corrective. Not seeing a lot of momentum, so I'm not really interested in trying to take that south. We are still printing these higher lows here, so hopefully we can print another one around here and make our way back to resistance. So pound NZD is a pair on my watch list. The pair at the top of my watch list is Euro USD still from last week. Hopefully we can see a pullback on this one. It looks like we are kind of seeing the start of that pullback, so hopefully we can see a lot more upside. I'm hoping we can get to at least to areas like this, maybe even an area up there as well, that prior low term resistance. I'm going to be looking at both of these areas as places where we could form our next lower high, and as a place where I can find my next short position, and more or less targets down that low. Like I said, I'll be looking to trail my stop loss, so I won't really have a finite target in place, but I'll be seeing how far I can push the trade. So yeah, Euro USD to me looks like a really good opportunity. DXY is doing the exact opposite of that, which of course you would expect it to do so, but you can see price broke structure last week, had a really aggressive pullback. Of course, in hindsight, we can see that it was a pullback and not price trying to reverse. Big move to the downside, but price reversed that, creating another higher high over here, and this is just now a higher low. So looking for some type of correction for the DXY, and then I'm expecting follow through to the upside. So of course expecting the opposite for Euro USD. So I'm very bullish on dollar. So looking for opportunities that favor dollar strength. Anything online, we'll take a look at pound USD. That pair is looking interesting as well. I do prefer Euro USD to pound USD in terms of the shorts, but pound USD to me looks like it's in a very interesting place and rejecting that level very well as well. Again, what I'm looking at for pound USD is basically we've got this ranging market here for the pair. So we had highs over there. This is a bit of a fake out. So this is a bit of a fake out over there. Price came back with respect to the same resistance level. These are our lows. So price was testing support once, second time, and this here is a big fake out as well, or at least I'm classing it as one. So we've got the high and the low of the range there. So now that we've rejected the high of the range, I'm expecting us to push back down to the low of the range, which is around 1.25200, we'll call it. So I'm expecting a lot more downside for pound to push us back into the lows here, and then we can see what happens next. Maybe we bounce back again or we break through. But because we had such a sturdy rejection there, if I go to the weekly chart as well, you can see the weekly chart throwing so many wicks to the upside, and I really like last week's candle closure, because we had a big piercing wick to the upside. The market pulled back down, closed bearish. Not the best shooting star in the world. It would be nice if we had a bit more momentum on that candle close, and maybe a bit less wick to the downside there as well. But beggars can't be choosers. Nonetheless, it's still a good candle closure, and I like the two previous weeks as well. Left two nice wicks to the upside there too. So in my book, pound USD's got a lot of room to the downside, back down to this area here. And yeah, looking for shorts to take advantage of that. We had this kind of corrective channel which looks to be broken out of. Price had a pretty nice move to the downside, just about cleared this low here as well. So to me, it looks like pound USD is successfully breaking out that channel. And what I'll be looking at next is a lower high somewhere and some follow through to the downside. I did say in my weekly analysis it would be nice if pound kind of drops a little bit further and then pulls back to retest that low, because I think that would be a really nice place for a break and retest entry. So this was our prior swing low, which had a really nice push to the upside. Now we're breaking through that, looking for the retest, finding entries on that level, and then yeah, looking to take it back down to the low of the range. So that for me looks like a really nice opportunity for pound USD. I do prefer euro because there's just a bit more of a trend to it. Pound USD is a bit more of a reversal type opportunity. You know, reversing this bullish trend here for the bears, whereas euro, we kind of already have an established bearish trend on our mist already. As you can see, high over there, lower low, lower high, lower low. So now I'm looking for the next lower high somewhere, either here or there, to take it back down. So euro USD is a bit more established, and I also like the momentum. But yeah, pound USD would be a close second if we do see a bit more follow through than a pullback. But yeah, shorts for pound USD look good, and I'm kind of in the same situation as with the rest of the dollar pairs. So Aussie dollar, for example, for me, I'm looking for a big move to the downside. Again, what I'm looking at here is we had a big range in the market as well, similar to pound USD actually. So a big range in the market. I'm looking at this as a bit of a fake out. So a bit of a fake out to the upside there, and I'm looking at us breaking to the downside, back down to the low of the range, which is around 0.646. So that is the plan I have for Aussie dollar as well, but we need to see price break to the downside, because we could still break to the upside, of course, but I'm very bullish on dollar, so I do think there's a good chance we do break to the downside. And then once we do that, I drop back to the 4 hour. It will leave behind a really nice level of support for us to start looking for some retests. Say we break like this, retest that, and then get the short. So quite similar to pound USD in a sense. So yeah, I do have quite a few pairs I'm looking at, maybe $3 or $4 pairs which interest me. I'm liking a couple CHF pairs as well. Pound NZD still looks good. Quite a few pairs which just need some work. You know, some breakouts or some breaker structures or some pullbacks are needed before I find some entries on them. Euro USD is probably the closest one to give me an entry and the pair I like the most. So I don't know, you know, maybe by Tuesday that could be ready to be trading up there and things could be looking interesting, or maybe have a big bullish move. Haven't actually really checked the news this week. Yeah, once we start getting to these areas, I'm definitely going to be looking for my shorts to try and see if I can take the next move to the downside. In terms of the CHF pairs, Euro CHF was a market which I looked at on my weekly analysis, a bonus pair that I had. I do think there's a lot of downside for Euro CHF. I quite like the fact that I'm looking to short Euro USD and Euro CHF as well, because they're quite correlated, and I like it when multiple currencies, multiple pairs of the same similar currency are trading in the same direction in terms of the general trend, because it increases the likelihood that we'll see opportunities that favor that trend, and that will play out as well. But yeah, for Euro CHF in the higher time frames, I'm looking at these major highs here. One over there, second over there, major low, major low. It looks like price could be looking to make its way back down to this area longer term. So all I'm interested in is some pullbacks and some opportunities to actually take that position. So if I drop to the 4H, I really like this move to the downside. It's quite aggressive, a lot of momentum there. Looking for a retest of this area for the next lower high, so I'm hoping we can get a nice corrective pullback. I don't want it to be impulsive. That will kind of ruin the opportunity a little bit, but if it's nice and corrective, that would be nice. Take a little entry around here, and yeah, looking to try and catch that next wave, at least back to the prior low. I'm not expecting a home run back to the low there straight away. Could happen, but you know, if I can get moved back to the area there, then I'll start being a bit more aggressive with my trail stop loss. So yeah, Euro CHF, definitely a pair on the watch list. William, yes, I would agree. Euro USD looks like we got an opportunity this week. USD CAD, yeah, I would agree. USD CAD's been quite choppy. I'm not really looking at USD CAD much this week, to be honest. I wasn't a big fan of the price action. I mean, I was really liking USD CAD coming into last week, but yeah, I missed the opportunity to take it higher, and since then I have no idea what USD CAD has been doing. Price action has been all over the place, a lot of wicks to the upside, wicks to the downside. I'm not a big fan of all of this nonsense here. So yeah, USD CAD, again, I'm still very bullish on dollar, so I would be looking at opportunities that favor dollar bullishness, dollar strength. So you, in this case, looking to buy USD CAD. And I'm still with that to a degree because we have broken structure to the upside here. We have broken structure to the upside there. We have started to print some higher lows here as well. It's just a very, very corrective pair, and you know, I wouldn't be totally against just kind of just boxing this off as a big range and just moving on to another pair, because price action is very, very choppy for USD CAD. So yeah, maybe if USD CAD has another big move to the upside, something like we had over here. This was a really nice bullish move here. If we can see one of that, another one of those moves again to the upside, clearing the highs, then maybe the next pullback after that can make a lot of sense to take it back up again. We still do have the highs here as a nice target. So yeah, maybe another bullish move in the pullback after, then I'll like it a lot more. But really what I'm seeing right now is just a big consolidation, really. It's just a big consolidation. So I'm not in love with the price action. I think there are a lot better pairs to trade, a lot better dollar pairs to trade even. And that's the beauty of having multiple pairs to look at. You know, when pairs are not looking that good, you just jump onto the next one, and so on and so forth until you find a pair that's worth trading. USD CAD, to me, maybe if we do see that move, then I'll be interested in it. I'm not too sure what you're waiting for your own setup, but for me, something like that would interest me. Anything else, I'll probably just give it the skip. TJ, good morning, hope you're well. No, I haven't looked at gold. Gold's an interesting one, because again, I'm still longer term bullish on gold. I still do think we can come back to the highs here and see some new highs and push on. So I do think gold has a lot of room to the upside in store. But in terms of finding some good buying opportunities, I'm struggling to see them. There is a big level of support here. You know, this was our price swing low, which gave us this swing to the upside, which gave us new highs there. So for me, gold still has that move to the upside in it in terms of something like this. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But yeah, that's kind of the only bullish opportunity I can see, because right now we've had a really big drop to the downside, and to me, this still looks like a correction. So I'm kind of still expecting a move down. And then we can see what price does at that low at 22.82, because that could hold, like I said, take us back up again, or we could break structure, and then maybe from then on some sales look a lot more interesting for gold. So I can see some good sell opportunities if we break structure. I can also see some good buy opportunities if we hold the low. But for now, in terms of right now, I would actually be favoring another drop for gold. Another push to the downside for gold. So yeah, I mean, let me know what you're looking at for gold. But in my book, we've seen a really strong impulse, and to me this looks like a big correction. So I do think we can see another big move to the downside there as well. I did say in my weekly analysis that maybe a push to this area here could give you an opportunity to short something like this. If we do see a push up, we could probably see a nice big short to the downside from that area, because essentially you're looking to try and catch that next lower high. 1, 2, maybe a third, and then we see some follow through to the downside there as well. And then yeah, we'll see what happens at around 22.82, because we could then take price higher. Fair play, ball. Guacamole for lunch, not bad at all, mate. I'm a big fan of avocado. Big fan of avocado. Almost eat that almost every day. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with gold. Silver, similar situation. I'm pretty bullish on silver still. We're still kind of respecting this daily trend line here, which is still intact. So again, still looking for buys. Anything I don't like about silver is that we did break through my level of support there last week, but we might just come back, consolidate here for a little bit. Nice strong move up. Now try and catch the next high low after that. There is a world where we do break to the downside, but I'm not really interested in the shorts at all. So I'll just let that kind of slide. But yeah, for me, still very bullish on gold. Silver. We're still forming higher highs and higher lows here. So in terms of market structure, still very bullish. As a result, I'll still be looking to try and take price higher. Euro NZD and pound NZD. Okay, we'll take a look at them. So yeah, with Euro NZD, as I mentioned earlier, we've come back to a really big level of support. So essentially looking for buys, looking for an opportunity for price to bounce. As I said last week, not really a trade I'm interested in, but we can see a bounce from this level here. And we can see a push to the upside, but at the same time, I don't really want to force anything because we still do have all of this momentum here. So effectively, I do want to see price show me a reversal, and then I'll be interested in a setup. But yeah, Euro NZD for me, it's at a really big level of support, so naturally I'll be expecting price to bounce here. But I need to see some bullish structure form, either a break of the high over here or a pullback after that, and then I'll be interested to take price higher. So something like this. So kind of a long way away from a setup of my liking, but if you want to be a bit more aggressive and take a trade at the low, maximize your risk reward potentially, then maybe a nice double bottom at this area could make a lot of sense. Price comes back to respect it again. Nice entry signal, stop loss, maybe a few pips below the low here, and then you're trying to capture a big bounce to the upside on that daily level. So that makes a lot of sense as well. A bit more of an aggressive position because at least here you've seen a reversal. So you really got some momentum in your favor. You got a trend in your favor. Of course, here you can get in a lot earlier and really take advantage of that move already. But of course, more prone to getting stopped out. So of course, it's up to you, up to the trader, how you want to play that. But looking for a move to the upside for Euro NZD as we approach that big level of support. Pound NZD, looking for buys as well, but we're still stuck in that descending channel there. Still waiting for a big move to the upside. If you're looking to trade within this descending channel, then keep an eye out for another retest of the high here. This could be a nice little short, take price back down again. So if you're looking to trade within that channel, that still makes a lot of sense. It's too corrective for me. Not seeing enough momentum in the bearish legs for me to look to follow this. So that's why I'm not really too interested in shorting pound NZD right now. But if you are, I would wait for price to push near the high, look for that next lower high, and then move back down. But yeah, I'm waiting for a big break to the upside. If we get it, I'm not too sure if we will, but that's what I'm waiting on. And then I'll look for the retest of the high there for that higher low, because again, I still do want to follow this bullish trend in the daily chart. Low, high, try and look for the next higher low, for the next higher high. So yeah, that's kind of the plan I have with pound NZD. So pound NZD, Euro NZD, kind of bullish on both of them, but not really seeing opportunities to buy them just yet. Okay, so Steinsten, probably saying your name very wrong, but morning, hope you're well. Okay, we'll take a look at Aussie dollar. Good morning, Andreas. What is up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. Monday's fun day. Monday, the markets are normally quite dead on Mondays, on average. But hey, every day is fun day. But yeah, for Aussie dollar, as I said previously, looking for a big move to the downside. Still pretty bearish on Aussie dollar. I'm just pretty much looking at opportunities that favor dollar strength. Maybe not dollar CHF, but I'll get into that in a moment. But Aussie dollar, I am looking for a big move to the downside, because what I'm looking at here is a big range. Markets had a bit of a fake out to the downside. Looks like we had a bit of fake out to the upside a few times actually. So what I'm looking for us to do is break support here and then see another move back to the low of the range, because That's what we were doing previously, just fluctuating between the low and the high. So I'm expecting that to come back again. I mean, you can probably mark this level here as a steady level of support to aim for, because we only kind of tested this area here once, where we tested this area here multiple times. So that could be a nice take profit as well. Of course, that's up to you how you want to manage that trade. But essentially, we're looking for a move back down to the lower region of that range. Once we do see a break of this support level, at the moment, still just about bouncing or throwing some wicks to the downside. So who knows, maybe we do see another big move to the upside. I'm not interested in that. If I'm going to look to buy Aussie dollar, I need to see us kind of break the resistance here. If we can break the resistance there, that'll give me a lot more confidence in the longs. And then, yeah, we can see a move back to the high there. Oh, wrong tool. See a move back to the high there. So that's kind of what I'd be looking at for Aussie dollar. A retest of 0.67, 67 pretty much, and then push back to the high. That's what I'd be looking at for Aussie dollar, if I'm looking to buy, of course. But at the moment, I'm still pretty bearish. Like I said, DXY for me, I think there's a lot more upside to it. I do think DXY soon enough will be trading around 106,400 and eventually 107 on the dot pretty much. So yeah, I do think there's a lot of upside to be had for the DXY. I really like this sell-off we had last week from CPI. For me, this is like a big kind of anticlimactic move to the downside. Price is trying to sell off, maybe trap some sellers here, and then we completely reverse there. So looking at a pullback and a move to the upside. And yeah, those are my longer term targets, daily targets, if you will, for the DXY. So expecting a lot more upsides in the near future. And yeah, Euro USD looking to take that to the downside as well. And it looks like we're pulling back, and it's looking corrective as well. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. Hopefully we can keep this up for the next 1 or 2 days whilst we get into this area, see what price does. If we fail there, cool. I'll look for another stab at this area, and hopefully we can play out. If it fails again, that's trading. Not every trade is going to play out. Sometimes you do take a string of losses. You take the losses on the cheap, move on to the next opportunity. As long as you're taking good opportunities that fit your plan well, with good reason, good logic, that's all you can do at the end of the day. Andreas, thoughts on pound Aussie? Looking for possible shorts. Okay, we'll take a look. Head and shoulder on the 4 hour. So pound Aussie's been a bit awkward. Not really looking at anything there myself, but I can see the head and shoulders you're talking about there. It's a bit of a choppy one, but if I mark it in, where's head and shoulder again? There we are. Completely forgot where I was. So yeah, the left kind of here, head over there, right shoulder over there, and of course that being your neckline. So I can definitely see the logic there. What I would say is if we can see a nice sturdy break to the downside like this, then that could be a really nice retest on that neckline of that same head and shoulder pattern on the 4 hour. And that could be a really nice short. I'm not a big fan of the consolidation here. It's just quite choppy. Prices all over the place a little bit. And I don't like the fact that we actually took out the highs there too. It would be nice if we were still respecting them. I mean, we took it out a little bit. It's not like the biggest break of structure in the world, but yeah, in my book, it's a break of structure. So if I'm looking to sell now for pound Aussie, I'd like to see a big drop to the downside, some conviction to the downside, and then some pullbacks, retest some support, some resistance, and then look for some sells. And then, yeah, we do have some room to the downside, and back to the lows here. We could potentially a lot further than that as well. But, yeah, if we were going to reverse, let's kind of break free of this mess here. Let's see some conviction to the downside. If we can see some characteristics like this over here on the move down, that would be really, really encouraging. And then some pullbacks, and then, yeah, some follow through to the downside will look good. So, yeah, pound Aussie, I'm not against the sales there. But if I'm going to look to sell it, I need to see some conviction on the next down move. and then look for some shorts after. And then push back to the low there makes perfect sense to me as well. Okay, so you're expecting a big move to the downside more, expecting to manipulate higher and then a follow through to the downside. Is that purely from technical analysis, or you're looking at fundamentals as well? I mean, for me, again, the way I look at the market is in a set kind of methodology, set kind of process, full of market structure and momentum. So in my book, dollar has given me a really nice bullish setup here, or is looking bullish to me. We've got this major bullish structure here at play. So not only can we see another high low of that nature, another push up higher on the 4H, we're kind of doing that again as well. This bearish structure has now ended. Price is now forming some bullish structure here as well. So multiple time frames look like we can push higher. If I expand to the weekly, it is a little bit more choppy, I must admit. Looking at the price action here, it's kind of sideways, but there is somewhat of a ascend there to the market. Some higher lows, we're trying to fight higher. So I do think that there is a good chance we do get back to the highs there, and I really like the opportunity. But of course, I could be completely wrong, and dollar can completely fall flat on its face and take a big dive. And that's why I trade with stop losses as well, and why I don't risk my whole account on one trade either. But in terms of my edge and what I look for, it ticks pretty much all the boxes here and ticks it well. So I'll be looking at opportunities that favor dollar strength until proven otherwise. If price does melt and we start taking out lows here, then I'll stand corrected, and at that point I'll probably be looking at pullbacks to take price to the downside. So yeah, if I do see something like this, I'll flip the bias, but right now I'm not seeing any signs of that. So yeah, I'm looking at pullbacks and some buys to the upside, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Morning, Ben. Hope you're well. Thank you for asking. I'm doing good. What do you thinking on gold this week? Okay, we'll touch on gold. Andreas, GP's going to range. Okay, we got an interest rate decision. I'm going to take a look at the news this week because I haven't actually looked. Yeah, pound interest rate decision on Thursday. Interesting stuff. So yeah, we might see price kind of not do much until then, which is quite far away. I mean, today's Monday, still got 3-4 days until then. I mean, I've already set my kind of bias for pound USD anyway, which is looking for downside moves. So I'll only be looking for setups that favor that opportunity. So I know what I want to do with the market, but in terms of how we set up, in terms of do we move sideways, or do we see some follow through now, or does price just wait to the interest rate? In terms of logistics of that, of course, it's up to the market to decide. I know what I want to do in terms of looking for sells, in terms of the location. I know where I want to sell it from, which is this level here. Now I just need to see if the market's going to present the opportunity, or are we just going to move sideways, or is the news going to push us to the upside? I have no idea, but the technicals look good to me. Just need to see how we react to the news, of course. So that'll be interesting to see. Other pound pairs, I'll speak on them in a moment. Let me just go take a look at gold. So yeah, with gold, as I said, I'm still longer term bullish on gold. I do think price back to 2440, 2450. I still think that is the bigger move at play here for gold. Again, 4 hour does not look good, but if I expand it to like the weekly chart, we still had a really impressive break to the upside. This here could just be a bit of a pause in the market, and then we could see our next kind of follow through to the upside. That's kind of what I'm envisioning. Maybe we do spike lower first and then see the follow through, but essentially what I'm looking at is an impulse, some type of correction, another impulse to the upside at some stage. However, on the lower time frames, intra-week, intraday, we've seen some really big bearish moves to the downside, especially a couple of weeks ago with this move here as well. We've been forming some lower highs, and the fact is that this move here is still so corrective. To me, it just looks like a pullback of this move here. So what I'm looking at for gold is big impulse to the downside, a correction, and I do think we can see another impulse to the downside again. Will it break this low or will it respect it? I have no idea, because I still think this is a nice place to look to go long. But if we do start breaking through, then maybe we do have some type of bearish trend at play, and maybe some shorts could look interesting later in the week or maybe next week. But for now, for gold, I do expect a drop. I do expect a drop. How to trade it? It's a little bit more difficult. I'd say maybe on my weekly analysis, I did say if we can push into this area here, I think that could be a really nice place for a short, because this is where all that momentum came from. Come back, retest, and then see a follow through, maybe the next lower high, one high over there, second high over there, third high over there potentially. We could see a push into that area, reaction, and then a follow through, then a drop. So I still think this is a really smart place for a short. Do we get there? I have no idea, but that's kind of where I'll be waiting for. Another opportunity which would make sense is if we push back to the high here. We might not push all the way into that zone, but we might have one more push into the high, retest that area, and then sell off. So that to me could also make a lot of sense. But the move I'm looking for essentially is a push to the downside for gold, at least intra-week, on an intra-week perspective. Longer term, still very bullish, but yeah, there's nothing really bullish about the current market structure, the current price action with gold. So yeah, looking for another drop to the downside. Let me know what you're looking at for gold as well. Okay, if you swing it not holding it for a long time, makes sense. Yeah, of course, there's some big levels down the DXY above us. There's some big levels. And of course, if dollar does see some strength as well, just wanted to add, if dollar does see some strength, then that could help gold shorts as well. But yeah, with DXY, there is some big levels above us. 106, 400 is a very big level. It might just be we move back into that high and then double top and come back down. As I said on the weekly chart, it pretty much looks like a big consolidation really for gold, so for dollar. So it's not really a market which you're gonna look to buy and hold and expect the trend to continue. It could do, but it's not like we're in this condition. We're in a very different condition of the market. So yeah, I can definitely see the logic behind that. But at least for this week anyway, I'm looking to buy gold until proven otherwise. So we'll see what happens there. But I do think we have a good chance of seeing upside. And Euro USD to me looks like a really nice short opportunity. So that's where most of my focus will go. Euro USD shorts. I do like Euro CHF shorts as well. Not as much as Euro USD, but I like it too. I just want to see a corrective pullback. I don't want us to kind of shoot upside and see an impulsive move. Not what I want to see. I want to see corrective pullbacks. But yeah, Euro USD to me looks like a nice short. So yeah, I'm very bullish on dollar. Expecting dollar strength this week. If that does happen, then you kind of do expect to see some weakness in gold, weakness in silver. I'm still looking to buy silver long term. It's just not really giving me the opportunity. This is the zone I was looking to buy silver from last week. Didn't really see anything that fit the plan, so I didn't enter a trade. And now we're kind of trading underneath it and sort of holding it as resistance. So silver's not looking as good as it once was in terms of the buys, but I do think there is a lot of room to the upside. So I'm kind of hoping we maybe break to the upside for silver at some point this week, high or low, and then a push, and then I kind of look at that next high low as an opportunity. Excuse me. My voice has been so croaky today. Excuse me. If you guys are enjoying the stream, by the way, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. If you are finding the content useful, informative, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe. It does really help out the channel. And of course, make sure you do hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. I'm not in a trade more, or are you talking to someone else? Not in a trade yet. Ben, okay, bullish gold this week. looking sluggish at the moment. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. If gold was a bit more impulsive with its moves to the upside in general, then I could start favoring some more bullish opportunities. But the fact is, we had a really big sell-off here. Price was really aggressive to the downside, and then now we've had kind of a really corrected move up, which, generally speaking, in terms of probabilities, if you have an impulsive move in one direction, the market takes its time and it's quite corrective going the opposite way. It's normally prices taking a breather and is looking and is most likely going to continue in that overall direction, impulse, correction, impulse. So that's kind of what I'm favoring right now for gold. Like I said, longer term, still very bullish on it. But unless characteristics change, I can't really be looking to buy gold just yet. I mean, I see what we can do at this low here, and then maybe we can take a nice little bounce to the upside, but not looking the best. Yeah, that could be true. We've had a hectic past few days in the market. NFP not long ago, CPI, Fed, pretty much all the big boys, big news events have happened. So maybe we do become a little bit stale. I mean, we've seen some nice momentum on a few pairs, so some good opportunities are starting to arise, especially on Euro. So I'm kind of just waiting for a nice pullback there, and hopefully I can find some shorts later on this week. Okay, so the US bank holiday on Wednesday. I didn't know that. Did not know that. And it's about the Euro Cup. Yeah, I mean, England got the W yesterday, so things are looking okay for England. I mean, it wasn't the best performance in the world, but a win's a win. A win's a win. Who for the win? I think overall Germany looked the best to me, and they got the home advantage as well. So yeah, I think Germany looked good. No. I might have put a position on something what I'm looking to do, like this, like pound USD break and retest. Something I'm looking to take advantage of, but I haven't entered the trade yet. Euro USD, I'm not too sure which pair you would have seen it on. I mean, Aussie dollar likewise as well. If you do see a nice break to the downside, I will look for a retest for a short. But yeah, I don't have a position on yet. Again, market has been quite choppy. If I had a trade on, I'd be kind of forcing something. But Euro looks good to me, so if I can see a pullback for this one, I am 100% looking this short, as long as it fits the plan, of course. But yeah, definitely look at something like this or that. England was a difficult watch. Yeah, it was a difficult watch, to be fair. But exactly, a win's a win. A win's a win. You can only beat what's in front of you. And, I mean, we didn't beat it well, but did take the W. What's up, Lorda? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are doing well. Welcome to the channel. Again, any pairs you guys are looking at, feel free to let me know down in the chat. Portugal dark horses. I don't know. Portugal too good to be dark horses. Their squad is stacked. I mean, I wouldn't say they're like favourites, because no one's really talking about them much. But yeah, for me, their squad's too good to be a dark horse. Yeah, I think England we got too many like good attacking players. It's hard to kind of fit them together, especially against Serbia, who are very physical. I don't think England are that physical, so I think that's why it was a bit difficult. But as I said, a win's a win. Take it, move on to the next. Fundamental analysis tells us why CHF is so strong. True. I mean, but again, my point of view on that is that you don't have to know why a currency is so strong. I mean, you don't have to. It could maybe help 100%, but you don't have to know why a currency is so strong or so weak. all you need to know is just how to trade it, really. That's the most important thing, because knowing why a currency pairs is strong, it doesn't necessarily put money in your pocket, does it? So, CHF is so strong, and I'm kind of looking for that to continue. I'm sure there's some fundamental reason why that is the case. But for me, as long as I can find opportunities and I can trade those opportunities, then why currency is so strong or so weak doesn't really bother me. But of course, I'm not saying it's not useful to know. Say Germany or France. Germany or France. I mean, France is always just thereabouts all the time. But yeah, Germany, I think, is the home advantage. And they've got a decent team as well. Yeah, Ericsson. Ericsson's a good player. He's always been good for Denmark. Always been good for Denmark. Man United, maybe not so much. Denmark though, always clutch. Yeah, of course, Ben. Yeah, it is definitely interesting to understand. Actually, why is CHF strong? But yeah, I understand the reason behind it. There's definitely information there. There's definitely use to that. But as you said, as long as you have a technical setup, technical edge, then it's not a necessity. But sure, if you want to find out why and you're interested in that stuff, then of course, have at it. Yeah, I would agree, Andreas, to be fair. I would agree. Can you take a look at S&P? Okay, I'll take a look at S&P. I think that's just England. Always looking good in terms of the team, but struggle to deliver. But maybe this tournament's different. I don't know. But I wouldn't say England are the favourites. I wouldn't say they're the favourites. I think Germany, France are kind of clear two favourites. I think England's just a level below that. Okay, so S&P 500. This one I said a nice little retest of this consolidation would be a nice little place for an entry, but unfortunately, price didn't do that. It was just way too bullish. It looks like we're kind of forming another consolidation, really. So we're seeing consolidation upon consolidation upon consolidation, even back here as well. I remember I was saying a retest of this could be a nice little place for a long, but we just didn't see the retest. But my analysis still stands from last week, really, which is a retest of this area for some longs, because looking at S&P, we're still very, very bullish. We're still seeing higher highs and higher lows. Trend is still very much up. There's a lot of momentum. I would only be looking at buys. Sure, I do expect to see some retracements sooner or later. But for me, the bigger move, maybe not the bigger move, but the easier move to spot, easy move to trade is still with the buys here. So I would be looking at a retest of this area, maybe even a retest of the high there. Might just drop in and tag that high there as well with it. Something like this, and then push up. But around 53.60 is where I'll be looking to position myself for the next long and try and get in on that next wave. Doesn't quite line up with the 50. It would be nice if it did, but it's just still a very nice zone there. And I'll still be expecting more upside for S&P. Higher time frame still very bullish. 4 hour looking bullish as well. Yes, we're running out a bit of steam, but I think that's just going to give us a nice little retracement and take the next long to the upside. So yeah, that's kind of my view on S&P 500. Let me know what you're looking for. No problem, William. Happy to help. Have a good day as well. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for S&P. But generally speaking, indices still look very, very bullish. US 100 still fighting higher. Maybe not US 30. US 30 is kind of a mine of its own. Lord, are you still short? No. You hit take profit. I thought you were still short from last week. But yeah, US 30 is kind of the odd one out really. NAS 100 flying, S&P flying, US 30 not flying. It's had a really big bearish move, which we've spoken about a bunch last week, and this move here was still so corrective, so we'll kind of look at to spill to the downside. But I do think there's a good chance we form a double bottom and have a big reaction here. The fact is, we're not really seeing much momentum in this down move here. It's not like we've seen a really big impulse, price had a correction, and now we're seeing some really strong follow through. Price is kind of sluggishly moving to the downside here, so I think there is a good chance we come here and react and see a push up higher, and we start to kind of follow that overall bullish narrative on the higher time frames, similar to what NAS has done and similar to what S&P has done as well, because there's a lot of room to the upside here for US 30, back to the high here. But I wouldn't get long just yet. So I'll be looking at around 38k to see what we can do there in terms of buys. But essentially, I'm looking for a lot more upside for this one. Same thing for S&P, same thing for US 100. I mean, US 100, I really do like the zone here. Nice consolidation, big breakout, no retest. So if we can get a nice little corrective pullback to that area, I think that's a sturdy place for a long. But yeah, it's quite far away. And looks like we've broken out of this range as well, but haven't done it with so much conviction. So it would be nice if you can push up a little bit higher or with some strong candlesticks and then look for a pullback. But essentially, looking for buys. Number one opportunity would definitely be this area here. But maybe if we're just too bullish, we have a shallow pullback, retest that area and be on our way. So I would keep an eye on that retest there too. But you can see in the theme of the market: impulse, consolidation, impulse, consolidation, impulse, consolidation, impulse. Kind of expecting that pattern to continue until it doesn't really. Until it doesn't side for all of them really. But I'll be careful with US 30. How is GR30 looking? Wow, the DAX already had a big sell-off. So yeah, DAX buys look okay, but because of this move here, I wouldn't actually be so against sells. Especially with a nice corrective move back up. I think that looks like a nice sell to me. Come back, respect some support up here. I wouldn't be against sells there. I would not be against that. Again, higher time frame still bullish, so I would keep that in the back of my mind, because it still is, for me anyway, counter trend. This is still our major swing low, which gave us our swing high. So technically speaking, we can kind of correct within here and then push on. But yeah, because of that momentum, the fact that we've been pretty consistent with all these low highs, I do like a little short there on the DAX. Again, I'm not completely against counter trend trades. I do take them from time to time, but most of my trades are pro trend. But when they do look good, I will take counter trend positions, and this one does look good here. So yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye out on some shorts and DAX if that does pull back. At the moment, we are looking pretty bearish. Pretty bearish. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with GR30 and indices in general. Again, I don't trade the indices, but I do like keeping tabs on them to see how they develop. Yeah, Euro USD better pullback. I would hate to see it just drop like this. I mean, I wouldn't mind it as long as it can pull back after that. How's Euro CHF doing? Looking okay. I mean, as long as it can have a corrective pullback, I'm in business. Pound CHF as well, I like this one too. Really nice move to the downside. Again, really nice kind of head and shoulder pattern there. So kind of got the left there, head, right shoulder, and of course breaking through the neckline, breaking through that swing low there as well. So essentially I'm looking for pound CHF to pull back, see a lower high, and take a nice drop to the downside. Maybe as we come into this area here. So pound CHF to me looks like a good short on a pullback. Euro CHF likewise as well. New Zealand CHF not really for me. There's still kind of an uptrend here at play. I'm not looking to short that just yet. Aussie CHF as well. Not really looking to short that at all. CAD CHF not really as well. So yeah, Euro CHF, pound CHF look good to me, and Euro USD as well. No problem, Lauder. Happy to help. Ben, convinced you to start trading indices. Again, the only reason why I'm not looking to trade them is just because I've got a lot of pairs which I look at already, and I've got enough on my plate. But yeah, I might drop a couple FX pairs and pick up maybe US30 and start trading that on on a demo account to get used to it, because I've never really traded indices before. I mean, maybe way back I probably placed a few trades here and there, but nothing serious. So, and they do move a little bit different to FX, so I do need to get used to them a little bit and find my feet there first before I start trading it live. So if I do pick up indices, I'll probably pick up US30, and then I might kind of drop maybe Aussie New Zealand dollar, maybe Euro pound as well. Drop those couple pairs and then exchange that with US30. So I don't want to add more to my plate because I feel like I've already got enough. If anything, I might even cut it down. So I might exchange a couple FX pairs for indices, and then I'll start trading on the side and see how it goes. But yeah, I've been trading FX for many years. Never really traded indices, so I don't just jump straight into it. Yeah, I look at a lot of stuff. I mean, pretty much anything people request on the charts, I will take a look at. Cause, technicals at the end of the day. But of course, in terms of my personal trading and my personal experience, it's with FX in terms of placing trades, exiting trades. FX, and I've only recently added gold and silver to the mix. Well, recently, as in the past kind of 2.5 years, I've added gold and silver to the mix. Ben, US indices only really move for a few hours. Yeah, exactly. They do move differently from session to session as well. You can see how, if I click on the US 100, FX doesn't really move like this. Doesn't really move like this. The way it breaks out, the momentum, the kind of pullbacks it has, it's a little bit different. Not that I have to use different technical analysis to trade it, but in terms of my approach, I have to be aware of the characteristics of these indices first before I do start trading them. And in terms of the patterns and the technicals I use, will be the exact same. Entry candles, entry candlestick, support, resistance, market structure. It will be the same thing 100%, but it has its own kind of flavor to it, which will take some getting used to. Yeah. And of course, sessions as well will be a lot more important, I feel like. Lord, I found indices to be better tradable than FX currently. Yeah, some people said that. I mean, I've had quite a few people say that recently, actually, that as you prefer indices to FX. I think because the direction is a lot easier to spot on indices. For example, US 100 here, direction's very much up, so it's kind of black and white. Are you looking to fade that move, or are you looking to go with the trend? That's quite easy to spot. Whereas, say if I go in Euro USD, the direction's a little bit more all over the shop. So I think in terms of tradability, it makes a little bit more sense to trade the indices just because the directions are easier to spot. So if you're counter trading, you know exactly which way you're going, short, and And if you're pro trend, you know exactly which way you're going. You're looking to long, and that's kind of the same for US 100, US 30, and S&P as well. Indices in general, you know, overall uptrend at play, whereas the FX is kind of more neutral. So I can definitely understand that. DAX is nice to move both sessions. Yeah, I've never really looked at the DAX too much. I mean, of course, I do look at it when people ask me to take a look at the DAX on stream. But in terms of my personal trading, I don't really look at it. I mean, it's not on my. If I just expand this, it's not on the pairs that I have on the right here. You know, these are like extra pairs which I don't look at really, but I keep tabs on, like Bitcoin, US 100, Ethereum, DXY, natural gas. US 30, S&P, USDR, oil. Again, I don't trade these ones, but I keep an eye on them. So yeah, DAX is not really one I keep an eye on, but of course when people do mention it, I do take a look at it. But yeah, I definitely heard good things about DAX as well, and some people just trade DAX alone, really, just they trade DAX. But yeah, in terms of how it moves like, from what I know anyway, like any other major indice really would. So yeah, it will take some getting used to, some demo trading, just getting that kind of experience of placing a trade and exiting trades. Yeah, that's definitely the case, Ben. Indices, you know, definitely higher time frames are just in general bullish, so it kind of just makes things a lot easier in terms of direction, knowing what you want to do in the market. Whereas Euro USD, if I go to like the monthly chart and expand this, you know, it's like, what is price doing here? You can probably argue there's a slight uptrend there at play, but it's definitely not a clean one. Say for example, if I go to, you know, S&P, you know, that's an uptrend that even a toddler can spot that. Whereas Euro USD is a bit more up in the air, and Euro USD is not actually a bad chart. If I go to, like, for example, let's say NZD USD, this one's a lot more choppy. I suppose back over here you had a pretty clean trend from 73 to 85, but since 1985, price has been pretty flat. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of difference between the FX and the indices. I think it's just because I've been trading FX for a long time. I'm just very, very used to it. You know, I know when to sit on my hand, when to take trades. So I'm very, very used to that and comfortable with it as well. But yeah, I think in terms of getting out of the comfort zone, growing a little bit, I mean, I think it'll still be a long time before I add Bitcoin to my watch list and crypto in general, but I think the next will be US 30. EuroCAD as well chart. EuroCAD higher time frame. Yeah, EuroCAD's not really good. I think CAD pairs in general. CAD pairs in general aren't really good. Yeah, that is looking absolutely hectic. So yeah, it's not great. It's not great at all. And again, you have to take this into consideration. You have to take this into consideration when you do trade it. Because if you are a trend trader and you like taking advantage of market trends, you've got to take into account this when you are taking a trade on a pair like EuroCAD. Because even if I go to the daily chart, the past, you know, few months has not been optimal to trade. You know, I can't remember the last time I took a trade on EuroCAD, to be honest, because it wasn't ideal. I mean, down here, yes, that's a pretty nice trend to follow, but right now's not the time. And same thing with pound CAD. If I go pound CAD on the monthly chart, I mean, pound CAD, bit more of a trend to it, but overall, same thing really. Aussie CAD as well, same thing really. New Zealand CAD, same thing really, despite that move there. So yeah, not the best conditions, I have to say. which is why I trade quite a number of markets. I think the total number of pairs I look at is 31, including all FX majors, all FX minors, gold and silver. I think it's 31. And the reason why I do look at a lot of pairs is because I'm trying to look for the best opportunity, and I have no idea which pair is going to give me the best opportunity this week or this month or whatever. So I have to keep tabs on all of them. But of course, I create watch lists. It's not like I'm looking at every single 31 of those pairs every day. I already know which pairs look good. Like, for example, I already know Euro USD is definitely the pair I want to trade. Some other pairs look okay after that, but Euro USD is a cut above the rest, so I'm just going to be focusing on that one really. But yeah, you have to pick and choose, pick wisely as well. Swing for 40 years. We just trade CAV to take 40 years to pass. Yeah, I mean, you could do that if you wanted, but I suppose the industry will look a lot different in 40 years as well. That's a crazy thought. But yeah, I mean, again, you have to take into account all that stuff as well. Because EuroCAD is just a very sideways market, which means that if you're looking for mean reversion, you're looking for opportunities to buy high, sell, buy low, sell high, mean reversion opportunities, reverse opportunities, EuroCAD is not a bad pair for it, because all EuroCAD does is it would trend for a little bit, hit resistance, come back down, trend for a little bit, hit resistance, go back up. Hit support, go back up. So in terms of a market that you're looking to just pick levels at, pick highs and short that, this is not a bad market to trade. Not a bad market to trade, because that's what it does. But if you're looking for breakouts, yeah, I wouldn't be so invested in EuroCAD. It will have its time, because I'm a big believer that any strategy can work anywhere. It just needs to pick the right time for those conditions that are ideal. If a market's very, very choppy, you're not looking for breakouts. If it starts to trend a little bit, like it was back over here, then yeah, breakouts make a lot more sense. Break of this level here, nice move. Break of that level there, nice move. That's kind of about it really, but you guys get my point. There's a time and place for everything, but generally speaking, conditions aren't ideal for it. That is the plan, Ben. To be fair, 65 years old, I should be out the prop game by then, mate. To be honest, mate. Hopefully, my children can take over the business, because 65 years old, I need to be on the beach somewhere, overlooking some sky blue waters. My children can take over that business, mate. 65, if I'm still in the prop game, I've done something wrong. Grandchildren would enjoy the profits. Yeah, they would do. 40-year trade. That's an investment, to be fair. If you hold a position for 40 years, that's an investment, not a trade. And you gotta watch out for the swap cost as well. You gotta watch out for the swap cost. If the swap is positive, then not bad. If it's negative, then yeah, all your profits will probably disappear anyway. Hopefully that's the plan, Ben. Streaming palm trees in the background, yeah. Not with a green screen either. Real palm trees. Trying to be authentic with it. Okay, so yeah, in terms of my watch list, Euro USD, like I said at the top, I'll keep a close eye on Euro CHF, Pound CHF as well, and Pound USD, Aussie dollar. If they can break to the downside, I'll like that as well. But other than that, not really see much. not really seeing much. Is anyone in any trades at the moment? I mean, I know more is holding Euro Yen for the foreseeable future. And the mojito. Euro CAD is ranging, wait for a breakout soon. We've been waiting for a breakout for 40 years. No, I have not looked at Euro Aussie. I think I did at the start of the stream. But yeah, essentially for Euro Aussie, all I was mentioning was we're at a massive level of daily support. So although we have been somewhat trending to the downside here, maybe not the best trend in the world, but we have been forming some lower lows and lower highs. But since then, we have hit a pretty big level of support. So naturally, I'm looking for a bounce at this area. Not really a trade I'm interested in, but it's definitely a place where we can see a bounce. Last time we were here, we had a pretty big move to the upside. So I won't be surprised if we see something similar. In terms of opportunities to actually trade it, I would say maybe if you can come back down to support, maybe form some type of double bottom there. That way you can look to try and place your stop loss underneath the area. Bit of room as well. It's a bit more an aggressive trade because you're trying to basically reverse, all of this really and try and catch it on a dime. So it's obviously going to be a bit more aggressive trade, but the risk reward is there. If you get an entry down here, for example, stop loss over there somewhere, there is a lot of room to the upside. Back to the high, maybe around a 1 to 5 risk reward, of course. It will depend on your entry, but there is a big level here. As I said, not really my type of trade. If I was looking to trade this, I'll be waiting for price to start forming some type of higher highs and higher lows, and then look to take a trade on a pullback somewhere. So that will be the plan with Euro Aussie. Same thing with Euro NZD as well. In a similar situation where we're at a massive level of support. And we have the capabilities of reversing here. Just need to see price give us something to work with, a double bottom maybe, some higher highs and higher lows. This will be my preferred opportunity. See price break to the upside, look for a pullback, and then take the long. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Euro NZD and Euro Aussie. Of course, very similar pairs and both trading at big levels of support. I haven't taken a trade in that one in a while. It's still pretty much where we left off, not last week, the week before. Like I said, I'm still very, very busy with the firm at the moment. So hopefully, end of July is probably looking at now. I can be a bit more active on the challenge, but yeah, haven't taken trades since I haven't taken a trade my personal either. There was no position for me last week either. But yeah, haven't been very active because a lot of moving parts at the moment. But if you guys are enjoying the stream, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. I do really appreciate everyone who has liked and subscribed so far. And make sure you do hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. And of course, check out the Telegram channel, link in the description to that. I do share my updates there, trades I do take. So if I do get any positions, I will let you guys know in the Telegram group. But yeah, the last position I had was the silver trade, which was over here, which ended up in a small win after, I think this was NFP. Had an entry around here somewhere, and then yeah, NFP came back and took me out of the trade there. Was looking for that bigger swing. I'm still interested in getting involved with silver. It's just a little bit awkward right now. Yeah, it's just a little bit awkward of how things are moving. So not seeing any positions to get involved just yet. But hopefully we can either see a big break higher and then try and catch the next wave after that. Or maybe if you come deeper down to some of these areas, I'll see what we can do. Around 27.6 7.2. But I do like what I'm seeing with silver because it's still very, very corrective. And this is still our big impulsive move. So to me, this looks like another big impulse, a nice correction for another big impulse to the upside. So textbook stuff really with what I'm seeing with silver. So I do think we're likely to continue in that momentum, in that move. So hopefully I can get a trade there. And it fits with, actually no, it doesn't. I was going to say it fits with my dollar bias, but it does not fit with my dollar bias at all. I'm looking for dollar strength, so yeah. So either silver just ignores that correlation, or silver does take a fall. Yeah, you did. It was NFP that gave us a big move to the downside. Are you still looking to buy silver more? Because I remember you said a while ago you're looking to long silver. I think you said it. I'm not too sure. 79% long IG client sentiment. Interesting. I mean, typically you kind of want to go against the herd, but sometimes the herd are correct. A broken clock is right twice a day. So yeah, I mean, 79% long, it might mean that we do see one more move to the downside to kind of wipe a lot of them out. So something like this, and then a move up. But you know, my bias is my bias. My market structure is market structure. We're seeing higher highs and higher lows, so I definitely would be bullish. In this market. As we're seeing higher highs and higher lows, 100% will be bullish. So if 79% are bullish as well, then so be it. But we might see price kind of flush them out before a move, maybe. Or maybe they're just going to be right this time. Like I said, broken clock is right twice a day. What's up, Kingsley? Yes, I will take a look at NZUSD buy, long-term buy. Interesting. Let me know what time frame you're looking at, so I can be a bit more accurate with the analysis. But I will take a look at NZUSD. Anis also better since only one setup, trading one setup only, doing that until the end of the year. Yeah, I would 100% agree, mate. Do that, and focus on that, because you know, one of the biggest lessons I've learned in trading is that less is more, and the better you are with something, the better in general. Because trading is not about trying to take advantage of every single move and you're in this and that. Trading is not about that. It's about edge. It's about your application of your edge. And if you can understand one setup very well and there's edge there, and you can just get better at that in general. Sure, it might mean you don't take as many trades because you have to wait for price to align with that one setup. But it just means that whenever that setup does align, you're very in tune with it. You know what you're looking for, and you're just going to be better in general. And then once you start to see really good consistency with that, then maybe you can look to add another setup or some other confluences or whatever, or take away something. You can chop and change and experiment, but definitely in terms of finding consistency and getting to a good stage where you're happy with your trading, I think just one setup, one strategy is the best way to do it. And then you can go and try and add if you want to add. I mean, for me, I technically trade one setup, but it does have some different flavors to it because I use a number of confluences. So sometimes I might not have a certain confluence, but I have a different confluence and vice versa. But technically I still kind of count it as one setup. But yeah, in terms of when I was finding my feet in the market, I was just focusing on the same pattern over and over again. And it makes things a lot simpler as well. So yeah, I highly recommend to keep at that, focus on one setup. And if you want to add later on, you can always add. But having more than one at the start, I think makes it a lot harder. Okay, fair enough. Um, yeah, it probably wants to catch some people on the wrong side first, and then we might see the move. But like I said, I'm very, very bullish on silver, so I will still be looking for longs as long as we maintain structure. But we'll take a look at NZUSD now. Okay, no problem, Ben. Appreciate you coming onto the stream. Have a good one. Okay, so let me know what time frame you're looking at, Kingsley, in terms of the long-term buy. But yeah, I'm not really seeing that. I mean, again, I don't know how long-term you're talking about. I don't know if you're talking about months or days or weeks. But I'm not really seeing a long-term buy. I'm still kind of long-term bearish on NZUSD because that's generally where the trend is. We're still forming these major lower highs here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wouldn't be surprised if we form an 8th as well. So a long-term buy kind of goes against all of that, all of these highs here. So there's a lot of work for us to do. There's a lot of obstacles on our way for us to break higher. So I would like a long-term kind of sell, back to these lows. I think they make a little bit more sense. Of course, it's all probabilities. We could be very, very wrong. Maybe price does have that big breakout higher. Of course, all I can give you is my honest opinion. And I would still be looking to try and take price lower to these areas here. Maybe not this level, but these two kind of make sense. And this, like I said, this could be our next lower high in this phase. So, yeah, personally, I'll be looking at a lot more downside, back to 0.587 and maybe 579 as well. So that's kind of what I'll be envisioning for NZUSD. But maybe once we get there, maybe react and we bounce, and maybe a nice buy from there can make a lot of sense at a later date. But for now, I'm favoring a long-term sell. Ish. And yeah, I'm very bullish on the NZUSD as well. At least for this week anyway. For me, there's room to the upside, back to this high, maybe back to that high there as well. So, yeah, I do think NZUSD will likely push lower. But again, I could be wrong. That's just sharing my opinion. I don't want to talk people out of trades as well, especially if you have got a system, got an edge at play as well. Of course, if you don't know what you're doing, then yeah, fair enough. But if you do have a plan at play, I don't want to talk you out of not trading that plan, because that's the most important thing. Yeah. And it's one setup and more trading pairs is better than multiple setups and only a few pairs in the watch list. I agree. Well, yeah, and again, that type of experience you learn as you go along, those type of kind of learning moments are very, very important to keep in your mind. But yeah, I think one setup, multiple pairs is a lot better because there is a blend between the two. Some people focus on one currency pair or whatever market, and then just kind of trade that continuously and gain a lot of experience with that one particular pair. And they might have maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 setups they look at. Or you can have one setup you look at and then trade a bunch of pairs, and you're just looking for that one setup to form well, which is kind of where I'm at. I trade a wide range of pairs and I'm looking for the same pattern, following market structure, following momentum, and following support resistance. So yeah, that's kind of what makes the most sense to me. And I think it's a lot easier in general anyway as well. But then it's each their own, because some people would argue against it and say that it's better off just focusing on one pair and mastering that. And if it works for them, it works for them. But I think one setup and having multiple pairs is easier, as long as you're looking for the same thing as well. Because of course, with multiple pairs means more distraction. But if you know exactly what you're looking for, exactly the setup you're looking for, the situation, the circumstances, the the characteristics of the setup you're looking for, then everything else is just noise, and you flick through your markets. If it's not there, it's not there, you move on. So yeah, I totally agree. And again, especially with trading as well, you're not going to come into the markets and perform exceptionally well all the time. You will have phases where you perform really, really well, you catch really nice winners, and there'll be phases where you don't perform so well, and maybe take some sloppy trades, losing streak. These are all natural things. Even the best of the best of the best traders, the trades that you see people write books about, they go through the exact same phases as well. So trading, you have to think about the long term. You can't think about short term. Even if you are a day trader, even if you're a scalper as well, your horizon's got to be long term. Because you can have a really good month, really bad 4 months, and a really good 2 months after that, and still be very, very profitable. And that bad 4 month spell you had, the 9 times out of 10, that trader will break down and try and change things, and maybe go to different strategies. Sure, there might be some learning moments within that 4 months where you could have done something a little bit better, 100%. But in general, you're supposed to go through those phases. Supposed to go through those phases of loss and win. Which is the most difficult part of trading, I think, in my opinion. Yeah, of course, losses are inevitable. So the faster you become accustomed to that, the better. And I think the best way to overcome losses is just focus on the edge, focus on trading the edge. That's kind of what really helps me stay on top of things when I'm in a losing streak or in a tough spot. Just keep focusing on the edge. Take the loss, forget about the loss. Of course, make sure you took the loss appropriately, so it's not just a random trade you took. But if you followed the plan, you did the right things, it made sense to the trade, and you took a loss, forget about it. You're not supposed to solve the market and understand why that was a losing position. It just was a loss. You're supposed to take losses. Just move on to the next trade. Focus on the edge, and let your edge play out after a decent sample size. Look back over your trades when you've taken 50, not 5. You could take 5 winners and look like the best trade in the world. You could take 5 losers, look like the worst trade in the world, but it's over a wider sample, 50, 100, 150. Then you look back and you see your results, your patterns, your success. Yeah, of course, trusting the plan after collecting data, 100%, mate, 100%. And which is why journaling is so important as well. Because collecting data is good, past data, but collecting your present data is really good as well. I learn so much every December, because I always look back at all my trades that I've taken and look what I did good, what I did bad, and take that into the next year. No problem, Kingsley. Barrison didn't see it that way. No problem, man. No problem. I think if you're gonna look for a long-term move, always take into account the higher time frame and price action. If you look to hold a trade for multiple days and multiple weeks, look at the higher time frames, and by high I mean all the way up to the monthly chart, all the way up to the monthly chart, monthly, weekly, and daily chart, because they're very important, and they'll help kind of show the bigger picture of things. But again, nothing's 100%. We well could break higher and see a big reversal. That's definitely a possibility. but the theme of the market has been those lower highs, so I would always expect that to continue until it doesn't. So that's where that bearish note came from. So yeah, a tip, generally if you're going to look to hold trades for longer, of course if you're on the lower time frames you can get away with maybe not looking at the weekly or the monthly chart, but I'd still recommend everyone to look at the daily at least. But yeah, if you can look for swing trades, the more the merrier really. So yeah, the market hasn't seen too much movement today. It is a Monday, so not expecting crazy. Yen pairs in general kind of just looking a little bit flat, maybe a little bit bullish from this morning, but nothing much since then. Again, I mean, the bigger picture of the yen pairs, it's still very, very bullish on the higher time frames, but over the past 2, 3, 4 weeks, they've all been flat, so which is why I'm not really looking to trade them. My interest is definitely with the dollar pairs, at least for this week anyway. And Euro CHF and Pound CHF as well. I do like these ones a lot. Other than that, not seeing much. I mean, Pound NZD, I said it looks good, but it's got a long way to go before giving me an opportunity. And you see a big break to the upside, a pullback, a retest. That alone could take 2-3 days to happen. So that's even if it does happen as well. So I will keep a close eye for that. But I'm liking the longs here for Pound NZD. And then yeah, Aussie, New Zealand dollar, Euro pound, not really interested. Euro NZD, no. Euro Aussie, no as well. Okay, no problem more. Have a good one, my man. Hope that your setup will work for you before it ends. And of course, appreciate it. Best of luck with your Euro yen positions as well. Kudos to you because you've been holding them quite a while. Very, very impressive stuff. So hopefully you can see that continuation. But I appreciate that. Have a good one, my man. And yeah, hopefully see you tomorrow. But yeah, yen pairs have been a difficult hold. But I think that has been a theme of the market through most of 2024. We have kind of seen a lot of choppy conditions, especially compared to 2023, and definitely especially to 2022 as well. But it does mean that sooner or later we expect the market to expand again and see some bigger moves. Just got to be patient and trade accordingly. How's oil looking? Oil's not doing too much there. Still consolidating. S&P consolidation. Bitcoin a little bit bearish as well. Dollar CHF is kind of the only dollar pair to me, which kind of looks good for a sell. It did kind of did the sell actually, to be honest. Last week retesting the low here. I was hoping for a bigger pullback, but it didn't quite happen. But it did just about come into that low, react with it and see some downside. How was the entry signal? Okay, it wasn't too bad. A nice kind of candlestick there, but it happened outside my trading hours anyway, so I wouldn't have taken the trade either. But I was looking for a deeper pullback, at least to this area here, because we kind of had the 50 in that area, or at least just above it, I think. So yeah, just around that area. So I was hoping for a bit bigger of a pullback. But now that I'm very bullish on dollar, I'm not really so interested in trading USD CHF to the downside anymore. I'm kind of just going to be focused with dollar longs. If USD CHF does come up, retest that level and sells off anyway, yeah, so be it. For me, Euro USD looks really, really good. So yeah, I'll keep a close eye on this one because, I don't know, maybe we do push up. Let me just check the news real quick. I haven't actually seen what's happening. I know we got Bank of England on Thursday. But in terms of dollar news, so dollar news today, not much. We got New York Empire State Manufacturing Index. Not too sure how much movement that will give the market. CPI Euro tomorrow. Okay, that'll be interesting. Retail sales tomorrow 130 USD. Wednesday, nothing really. Wednesday, Thursday. In terms of USD jobless claims, PMI, and then Friday nothing much. So in terms of dollar, nothing really big this week. So yeah, not really expecting anything too crazy, but the plan is already in motion. Some other news like pound and euro have some interesting news. CPI for euro and Bank of England for pound, so could see some movement from those pairs. But again, in terms of those events, I'm not really too scared about them. I don't really tiptoe around them. It's mainly just the big dollar news ones I tiptoe around. But yeah, if I don't get shorts on Euro USD, hopefully I get shorts on pounds. And if not, maybe hopefully Aussie dollar. So hopefully I can get a pullback then. What's up, Scarface? Hope you're well. UK oil, looking to short around 81,250. Okay. With oil in general, there is a trend, a bearish trend at play, but I just don't like how aggressive we pull back, almost like a big V-shaped pattern. 81,250 you said? It's around here. So you're looking to short or long? Because if you pull back there, yeah, that's more of a buy, I think, not short. Unless you're looking for price to break to the downside and pull back into that area. Either which way, but what I'm looking for essentially for oil is a retest of this low here. More or less around your 81,250, just below it. Because we had a big move to the upside. I think there's a world where we come back respecting, see a big move higher. I'm kind of looking at this as a big V-shaped pattern, and typically V-shaped patterns normally do mean more upside. It's normally a reversal opportunity or reversal pattern. So I do like the idea of more upside for oil. If you're looking to short, I kind of want oil to push up a little bit higher around this area here, and some shorts around that area there will make a lot more sense to me. But yeah, buys I do like around the 81 area, just because that looks like a big V-shaped pattern to me. But it might just be short term though, because the trend's still at play, and if we respect the high, we could easily still sell off. So not a trade which I'll hold for too long. But yeah, that's kind of where I'll be with oil. But anyway, guys, we have come up to the end of the stream. If you have enjoyed it, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you have enjoyed it and found it useful. Please be sure to hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Check out the Telegram link in the description. I do share my updates there if I do take a trade, so do keep an eye out for that. But of course, guys, we'll be live every day this week: Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I hope to see you all there. Besides from that, have a great day, guys. Not much news today, so yeah. Well, I was going to say you probably won't blow your account, but yeah, where there's a will, there's a way. But anyway, guys, have a good one. Take care, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.